Have you ever noticed how some movie quotes just kind of stay with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, not just like the funny ones,
Yeah.
but those lines that like reveal something about life, even if they're from like, I don't know, a mob boss or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I think The Godfather.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like The Godfather's got a lot of those quotes.
It's amazing how, a story about organized crime
Right.
can actually give you these like really deep insights into how people work.
Right. Like it makes you think.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch of these iconic Godfather quotes here,
Okay.
and we're going to kind of unpack them, see what we can learn. We've got
hmm
offers you can't refuse in here. We've got cannoli.
Oh, cannoli. Yeah.
Like, what can we really learn from these?
Well, let's start with that one you mentioned.
Sure.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Right.
At first glance,
Yeah.
it just seems like it's about power, right?
Yeah.
But like when you dig a little deeper, it shows you that like Don Corleone, he really gets how people think.
It's like you give people what they want, they'll give you what you want.
Right, exactly.
But the real trick is figuring out what they actually want.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not always obvious.
Yeah.
It makes me think about those big business
I like
deals
that.
where it's not just about what people are saying they want at the table. It's about understanding their real needs.
Oh, so true.
What's driving them?
Yeah.
You got to find that thing, that leverage
Yeah.
that makes it almost impossible for them to say no.
Makes you kind of look at how we try to convince people in our own lives, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, next quote.
Okay.
A man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Coming from a mob boss, right?
Yeah, that's kind of ironic, yeah.
But it's like, there's something universal about that.
There is, yeah. It's like we all have this deep need for connection, to
Yeah.
belong. Even in a world as messed up as the one Don Corleone lives in,
Yeah.
you still see that desire for family.
Like, even with all the chaos,
Right. Yeah.
you still want those relationships.
Do you want those people you can rely on?
Yeah.
The people who, have your back no matter what.
It makes you wonder if, for Don Corleone, family was bigger than just blood.
I think you're right.
Like that loyalty he built within his organization.
Yeah, it's like that was his family too.
Yeah. And speaking of like chilling contradictions,
Oh, yeah.
leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Oh, man, that line gets me every time.
Right. It's darkly funny,
It is.
but it's also like really telling.
Isn't it?
It's about compartmentalizing, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you find a moment of normal
Right.
in a world that's completely crazy?
Exactly. It's like a coping mechanism almost.
You have this brutal act,
Yeah.
and then, this simple pleasure.
Like a little reminder to find the good stuff.
Even when everything around you is dark. Which brings us to something completely different.
Right.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Ooh, that one's heavy.
Yeah.
I think that one goes way beyond just getting back at someone.
It's about, like, strategy,
Strategy, yeah.
patience.
Patience, absolutely.
It's not about acting without thinking.
No.
You wait for the right moment.
Yeah, you got to pick your spot.
And that can apply to anything, right?
No, it can.
Not just like conflict,
Yeah.
but even, big life goals.
Oh.
Saving up for that dream vacation.
Mm-hmm.
It's about playing the long game.
Exactly.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
So not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business.
Oh, man, that's cold.
Chillin', right.
It is, yeah.
And I feel like such a dangerous way to think,
It can be. Yeah.
but it does show you what can happen when you let your emotions take over.
Right. You can make bad decisions.
In anything, right?
Yeah.
Business relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes that detachment can be good,
It can.
but sometimes it can be bad.
It's a tough one.
It makes you think about where those lines are in your own life.
It does, yeah.
When is it okay to separate how you feel
Yeah.
from what you decide to do?
Big questions.
So we went from offers you can't refuse
Yeah.
to the dangers of revenge
Mm-hmm.
to keeping things strictly business.
Wow. Yeah.
And it all came from a mob movie
The Godfather, man.
who knew there was so much to learn.
Right. I mean, these lines seem simple,
Yeah.
but there's so much there when you really think about it.
It makes you kind of want to rewatch the whole thing.
Yeah.
See it with fresh eyes.
Totally.
And if you're like us and you love analyzing movies,
Oh, yeah.
don't forget to like and subscribe to AI Movie Podcast,
That's right.
where we unpack all things cinema.
We go deep.
We go deep.
Deep dive.
Deep dives, exactly.
Every time.
Every time.